My company's Creature Effects, and that's really my expertise is creating creatures for film, and that's animals and monsters. I mean, all these characters come from historic backgrounds, and so for us to see the reality between the fantasy, we felt that there was a whole page of color that we could bring to it, and also, you know, a drama that maybe wasn't necessarily there to begin with.
I want a uniform.
The Hunchback is a unique and a wonderful piece that we look forward to make from the very beginning. Ever since we saw the comic book and saw this wonderful character that Frank Miller had developed, we wanted to do that piece.
Yeah, the Hunchback was a very difficult makeup. We're trying to be true to the comic book as much as we can. A maquette is a miniature sculpture, usually 6 scale or maybe a little bit smaller, of the final design of the character that you're doing. Any one time we would have maybe 8 people working on that particular character. So we had people working on teeth, we had people working on eyeballs, we had people making molds, people doing life casts. We actually flew the actor in from England, did a cast, and flew him up the next day. And then we had to fly him back twice for fittings before we got up here to actually shoot.
I will kill many fast.
I really like the Giant. The Giant was really one of my favorite characters, just because he went through a complete evolution. We're going to cast a big bodybuilder, but we couldn't find anybody of that sort of stature. And the design, we did several designs based upon a bodybuilder. And when they finally cast Robert's 7'1", he's a wrestler, but his body wasn't built like a bodybuilder. He was built more like an old-time boxer. So when I saw him and we all looked at him, and I didn't feel the design really worked with him. And we talked to Zach and Debbie about possibly changing the look of this character, like really a week and a half before we had to shoot him. I said, you know, why don't we make him more like he's an abused dog, kind of beaten up like an old-time boxer? And they loved it, and Zach said, yeah, sure. And so we had CJ sculpt it, and CJ literally had to sculpt this particular makeup in between doing all this other stuff on set. So when he wasn't on set, he would run back and sculpt this makeup, and we put this whole thing together like in a week and a half with the guys here on set, and I thought it turned out amazing. So.
We worked with Zach for months before this film was even greenlit. And it's been great. It's been a great collaborative effort. We feel like we've helped him along the way to develop this film.